Hello everybody and welcome back to RogueTech, where literally every single one of our mech warriors is fatigued. We should maybe tick forward 2 to 3 days here. I'm actually feeling like 3. We don't have any mech tech tasks scheduled, but that does help out our storage space upgrade, I suppose. We're going to tick forward 1... Oh my, how many days was that? That was 2. That was 2 days. I don't like it when it freezes like that. That was an additional 2 days. I didn't mean to take forward that last day, but I guess it's okay. We'll hop into not the mech bay, but rather the barracks here, and see if we need to do any mech warrior training. Actually, there is some currently available, and so we'll do that. For Devourer, I think we will grab a point of tactics as a priority over guts. For Goldfinch, definitely a point of guts here. Hammer's injured. Can't really do much with him. Okay.
Yes, Commander. Waiting on you, Commander.
And there's some more injuries going on there. I do like that point of tactics.
Mech warrior training complete.
Okay, we'll do it.
Waiting for Commander. Ready for
And we'll grab, I think, this point of piloting.
confirm, Commander.
And finally,
Yes, Commander.
this point of guts. Okay, so we are now pretty much ready to deploy. I do want to check in on the state of the mongoose, though. Now, I don't want to put too much money into this thing. Yeah, there's actually nothing we can do here. Just couldn't remember why it was considered underweight. There's nothing we can do for it or the gladiator, although I'm not going to do this right now, but I'm just curious to know how much space would it free up if we slotted in an XL engine. 6 tons. Now, we have a severe shortage of slots here, so I doubt that we can really do anything with this. And I'm not going to do this right now. This is just too much expenditure, too much time. But it's good to know that that option exists. If we do that, we could come off of double heat sinks, and that would save us quite a lot of slots. I don't think that we'd be able to get a third ERPPC on there, at least not sustainably. For now, though, I think we're just going to deploy. And this is a recovery mission. Actually, this is the same level of salvage, but way better pay. This is an escort. Escorts are always a little spooky, but we can give it a go. That is 200k for a priority salvage. I think we're going to sit here and see how this goes. And I think we're completely ready to go here, except for the Panther and the Blackjack. So let's put Warboar in the Blackjack, and then probably Goldfinch in the Panther. Otherwise, I think this is good to go. This is an escort in the jungle. Yeah, the Gladiator has almost a quarter ton unused. There's not that much we can do about it without putting in something like an XL engine or an XL gyro, switching off of the double heat sinks. But switching off of the double heat sinks is basically going to mean that we're trading one problem for another, right? We're going to be trading a lack of slot space for a lack of tonnage. And I think it'll be roughly the same, except a more vulnerable mech. So I would have to actually run the math and see if that's how it works, but that's how my gut is feeling in that regard. For now, though, we need to escort the convoy to safety and escape. The position of one of our lances of fire support vehicles has become untenable due to the proximity of the local forces. We'd like you to provide security while we relocate them. Commander, the carriers they're talking about are slow and fragile. On the other hand, they could certainly provide fire support if things go south. Indeed they could. Well, that was a very short briefing. Luckily, the loading is done too.
Command interface initiated.
We have friendly units under fire. Move to their position and provide support. Get them to safety, keep them intact, and get out of there when it's done. Okay, so I'm familiar with this map. Wouldn't want any other company by our side, Commander. It's an honor to fight here alongside you. Now, I'm noticing that's an Apollo. Okay. We're just going to make our way up this way. As I said, I'm relatively familiar with this map for escort missions. This is the map that the Hatchetman escort flashpoint mission happens on. So we're just going to move our way on up. And we know that the evac point is going to be over here. It's absolutely fine. Okay. We do see some enemies over here. We see a fire truck, we see a scimitar, we see a scorpion, and we see a plainsman. We're just going to move up with our battle lance. The fire lance, on the other hand, they're going to look to take out that fire truck.
Now let's see how you handle this.
I don't think that hit.
I live to serve.
In other news, we're going to be attacking up here with our Arrow 4s. For obvious reasons.
On target.
Okay. That worked reasonably well.
Commander.
Now the blackjack, I don't think... Actually, it could split the difference.
Firing full complement on the enemy.
That was not good. Okay.
Yes, Commander.
And the gladiator is just going to have to move up. It requires a direct LOS. Okay. It is now our turn. The gladiator can actually move right up over here and hit this fire truck. This is going to hit hard.
Firing.
That's a dead fire truck.
One for the scrap heap.
Wonderful. The flea moves up, fires on the scimitar. A little bit of damage there. What has that flea got on it? Grenade launchers. Okay. That makes sense. We're going to move up with the Cronus. I'd love to get in, yep, right there, and hit that scimitar.
Copy that.
Very nice. Structure exposure. That's what we were looking for. We're going to come up. We can't quite get the stealth in position to actually fire on it. That is very sad.
What are your orders?
The Vulcan, on the other hand, we may be able to. Oh yeah, absolutely.
10-4.
We can probably finish this scimitar off here if we can get into that exposed area. Yep, that's what we were looking for.
Frag the vehicle.
Okay,
Ready for
we're now going to step forward a bit with the Stalker,
I'm walking here.
and we're going to continue to drop Arrow 4s right in the center.
Affirmative.
I wish we knew how much that did. And now we know. A decent amount is the answer.
Something I can
We're going to step forward with the Hunchy here.
full speed, no shooting.
Indeed. And we're going to see what these guys decide to do about it. Plainsman moves up, fires on the Vulcan. 10 damage, actually 20 damage. That's not too terrifying.
Ready to get it up.
We're going to step forward with the Blackjack.
Moving to position.
And I think these guys are now sufficiently separated that we're just going to drop artillery on the Plainsman here. Decent armor reduction. Not the best, but okay. Scorpion moves forward as well. Does a whole lot of nothing.
Ready to rock.
Okay.
All weapons. Go.
Okay, pilot ejected. I did not expect a pilot ejection there, actually. The flea is going to launch grenades on the Scorpion, of course. Not much damage there. Considering it's a flea, that's not the biggest surprise. I'm actually going to take the Cronus over this way.
Roger. Full
We're not triggering this capture zone just yet, though.
skipper.
The Vulcan can come up over here, I guess. No, I've changed my mind. I hate it. We're coming over here.
Copy that, Commander.
Okay.
Yep.
The stealth is also going to make its way over here. I want to get the battle lance over here. ASAP.
Let's do this.
The gladiator is going to make its way up over here, not quite triggering the capture zone. Embrace.
What's up?
We're going to move up with the blackjack. We're not going to sprint it. Actually, we are going to sprint it.
Going full throttle.
And now drop artillery on the Scorpion.
Firm.
Okay. That's internal damage, or rather, at least a structure exposure.
Standing by.
We're going to sprint forward with the Stalker, because the Stalker is definitely lagging behind. And this is probably a kill on the Scorpion. Yes, indeed.
That vehicle is one for the junkyard.
Fantastic. Well, the Hunchy is going to sprint forward over here and try to get caught up with the rest of the Battle Lance. Good luck to it.
Confirmed.
And the Panther is just going to sprint forward. Our Fire Lance, I want to be, like, in these trees before we trigger this. What's our fastest mech? Probably the Vulcan. I'm just going to park the Vulcan right there. The Hunchy, is that outside? I hope so. The Stealth is going to make its way over this way, and the Cronus is going to come with.
Copy that.
Panther is just going to move its way up, along with the Stalker and the Blackjack.
Moving out.
The Gladiator is also going to make its way over here. Hopefully the allied units can't capture this. That would be awkward if they could. We're going to have the Vulcan brace as before. The Hunchy is going to make its way forward. And I want the Battle Lance to be over here. I want the Fire Lance to be at least reasonably close. That is definitely within. That is just on the outside, though.
On my way.
That Gladiator is cruising. We could potentially think about dropping the speed of the Gladiator. That might free up some of the tonnage that we would need for a switch to standard heat sinks. I think I want the Battle Lance in here. Although there could be a drop up here. That does happen. I'm going to park the Cronus up here for now. And I think we're going to capture this now.
Affirmative, Commander.
We're going to have the Stalker closing in. The Blackjack can come down over here.
Copy that.
The Gladiator is reasonably in position. I'm receiving a transmission from the Employer's convoy. You've secured the area around their position, and they're making their way towards the extraction point now. Keep them alive. Keep in mind that the convoy will try to stay near you for protection. Continue advancing to get them to the extract point. That's the idea.
Hell yes. Get
Okay. We see enemies over here. That is a Panther and a Ferret. Okay.
Yes, boss.
We also see an enemy right up over here. That's a Cattle Master. They have a lot of evasive pips. We're going to let them move first.
Waiting for the right move.
That Flea is launching artillery over here. That's fine. I want this Cattle Master to be the one that moves. Oh, the Ferret closed in a little bit. That's fine. Let's see. I'm just checking to see. The Vulcan is the one that moves right now, or the Blackjack. Fine. Let's hit the Cattle Master with the Blackjack right now.
I copy.
Structure exposure. That's what I was looking for. The Cattle Master moves now, fires on the Hunchy. Does 6 damage.
Barely hit.
I'm assuming those are bolt-on rockets. Yeah, those are definitely bolt-ons.
What are your orders?
Okay.
Skipper?
I want the Vulcan to come up over here. Yeah, there's flames on the way. I'm not too concerned about that.
Skipper. Kicking it. Accuracy. Real volume of fire.
Okay. Some damage to the Cattle Master there. Not really what I was looking for, but it'll do. We'll close in with the Hunchy now.
Moving out.
And that is some good hit odds. Surprisingly so. Last pulse laser missed, but that's okay.
Critical hit, Commander.
This guy's no longer evasive.
What do you need?
I need you to come to this rotary rifle wrecker. Something like over here. And hit him rear arc. I'm also going to vigilance the stealth here, because I feel like we're going to take fire. These are not the best hit odds.
Picked up.
Okay, well, we did some damage.
Good to go.
Okay, the Gladiator, I'm going to move up over to this position here.
Coordinates received.
90% hit odds? Wow.
Critical hit, Commander.
Yeah, you don't say. This Cattle Master is feeling the pain right now. That Panther just didn't do anything. Fascinating. We're going to turn this direction.
Position.
The Panther is right next to the ferret. We're going to fire on the Panther.
Roger that.
And they're going to take a ridiculous amount of damage over here. The rotary rifle wrecker backed off, but it did not fire. These are some interesting choices the AI is making here. Certainly not choices I would be making. We're going to step forward with our Panther, and we're going to fire on their Panther. Hit odds are irrelevant. Excellent.
Ready for orders.
And now our Cronus can close in point blank on this Cattle Master, hit it in the weak flank,
On the move.
and heat this guy up. Let's cook this guy.
Firing on target.
It's a leg destruction
Critical hit, Commander.
and a knockdown. I'm guessing an ejection? No ejection. Okay. Firing on the ferret. No damage dealt. Okay.
Yup.
We're gonna move in with the Vulcan here and finish off the Cattle Master.
Acknowledged.
There's no way that this doesn't finish it off.
Engage target.
There we go. One dead Cattle Master.
It's go time. Bye-bye.
Agromechs are, you know, so good at fighting. That's the ideal location to fire artillery at. Good job, AI.
Receiving you.
We're going to have the stealth come in directly behind this guy.
Heading up.
Once again, I'm going to vigilance the stealth. We have no evasive pips here. I'm surprised our hit odds are this bad. From forest into forest, target moved self, cautious, no sensors. Ah. Do we not have sensors on the stealth? We'll have to do something about that, if so. Regardless, we did a lot of damage there given those hit odds. They're firing on the stealth. That was expected. And that's why we vigilanced. That was the ferret. Okay. The ferret does a lot of damage. It also ace piloted off over to here.
Good to go.
Okay. We're going to move the blackjack up over here.
Roger that.
We're no longer in a fantastic artillery position. We're going to continue hitting the Panther.
Copy that.
Not great, but it'll have to do. The Panther will attack our stealth. It missed the PPC and only did 12 damage. That could have been far worse.
Commander.
Okay, we're going to close in here with the Gladiator. And they're actually back in an artillery position here. Well, we're going to hit the Panther. Okay, we're going to miss the Panther.
Missed.
Fair enough.
Waiting for orders.
And the Hunchy is going to make its way up over here and also fire probably on the Panther. I'm guessing hit odds will be better there. Yep, they absolutely are.
I got him.
Okay, we only hit one there, but I guess it'll do. 13 armor removed. The Apollo closes in, probably does nothing. Yep, that's exactly what the Apollo does. Whole lot of nothing. Okay, the Stalker is going to continue sitting around back there. And we're going to fire in those Arrow 4s, and this is going to do a lot. Yes, indeed. Missiles firing on the Ferret, not doing anything. That's just like an LRM-5. And it has an AMS as well. Rotary Rifle Wrecker actually just didn't do anything.
What's up, boss?
Fascinating. We're going to close in over here with the Cronus.
I copy.
Like so. And we're going to look at heating up this guy. Unfortunately, we're not going to hit that rear arc. We're going to be hitting that strong front arc. Maybe we get in the side. Who knows? Yeah, some reduction there. We'll take it.
Skipper.
Panther will close in. And we're going to drop artillery again on the Panther. And we are really starting to hurt this Parrot. Parrot? I guess this is the Parrot now. Panther and Ferret. Oh my. We're really starting to hurt them. Particularly the Panther. Okay. Yep, that's exactly where you should be putting your artillery. Very nice. Good crits, sir. What do we want to do with the stealth? Do we want to risk? It's a dice roll. Phase 13 and phase 15. When do these guys move? Phase 19 on the Stalker. And 19 on the Gladiator. I think it works. But this, as I said, is a dice roll. Okay. So we succeeded that dice roll. Now we need to succeed at least one of 2 additional dice rolls.
What are your orders, Skipper?
We're going to take our Vulcan down over here. This is not one of the additional dice rolls.
I got you.
We are going to do some ECM protection. Unfortunately, we don't get to ECM protect the stealth. And if we were to fire here, we would probably hit the stealth, right? Stealth is there. I'm guessing we'll hit the stealth here.
Here we go.
We didn't. Okay.
That hits them.
And that's an ejection. We didn't even need that dice roll, and we succeeded it. Okay.
Commander.
Sounds good. This is the dice roll that we needed to succeed.
Onward.
Which was that we needed the Arrow 4s to do sufficient damage to cause that exact same thing to happen, but we also had the backup of the ERPPCs.
How's it going?
We can do something along the lines of this. Our hit odds are going to be perhaps not the best.
Firing. Full complement.
Yeah, that's still spooky.
Negative damage.
Because the Ferret is definitely going to hit the rear arc of the stealth. It's going to move like up over here and hit rear arc. And this is going to definitely hurt. I should have vigilanced the stealth. We had the resolve. We're not going to fire the ER medium here.
Firing on target.
I highly doubt that we kill it here. Yeah. Okay.
I tell you what, we'd better check my targeting system.
Yeah, I don't think there's a problem with the targeting systems. Just saying. We could come in with the Cronus, and I think we should.
Let's move.
Maybe we'll be a bit of a distraction. Not going to fire these flamers. Didn't really expect hits. Allied turn. Okay.
Orders.
We still do have the blackjack here.
Position confirmed.
We'll see what we get done. One very solid hit and one very awful hit. As in, it didn't hit at all. Here we go. This is where the stealth gets destroyed, probably. Oh! I'm gonna go with a but why, though? Were these bolt-on rockets? We don't actually know.
Ready to rock.
If those were bolt-on rockets, that makes some sense. I don't want to move the Panther, actually.
Right play.
Well, we could close in the Panther. I don't want to fire with the Panther. Because we have 2 mechs right here.
Confirmed.
Okay. we'll close in, but we're not going to fire our artillery here. It's just not going to happen. We could target back here, but I think it's too risky. Now the Gladiator, on the other hand, could theoretically close in back over like this, although I kind of want it to be a little further away. Our hit odds are pretty bad when we're this close in, because we're within the minimum range. We could try to head back somewhere like here, which is still within the minimum range. 25%. We'll take it.
Standing by.
And then the stealth can just come around to this same flank.
On my way.
We definitely need to look into that lack of sensors. Structure exposure, hover propulsion destruction. Is that an ejection? Yes, it is. Okay.
Skipper,
So let's just move up over here then.
I got you. Receiving you.
Okay, we'll sink some heat. And we'll just need to wait for the convoy to come in.
Receiving you.
But we definitely need to look into that lack of sensors on the stealth after this mission. And I just can't believe how big of a throw that was, where it didn't do the rear arc attack on the stealth. Like, that is insane.
Right here.
Okay, we're mostly sinking heat right now. And we'll see if we get another set of enemies here. I'd be a little surprised if we did, though. We've already dealt with 2 lances, so... maybe we will. I wish they'd move forward a little more quickly, but it did say that they were slow. They're sticking together fairly nicely, so that's good. Okay. Those guys are all closing in. Excellent. I think we'll just park the Vulcan right here, where it is. Hunchy can come over here. The stealth can, like, jump over here. We're going to have to get out of the forest here before the fire spreads, but that's fine.
I'm going.
Roger.
Okay.
Moving out.
These guys are not speedy in the slightest. Not at all. Okay. We'll just have pretty much all of these mechs park for right now. We'll put the Panther over here. The Stalker needs to get a little caught up. Otherwise, this all looks good for right now. And I'm not sure what these lines are. It seems to be a small bug. But I think it's just a visual bug. Like, it tried to use AMS to shoot down our Arrow 4s, and that's when I noticed them appear. And I think it just never got rid of it. Okay, we're going to move in just the Stalker.
On my way.
Everybody else, we're going to just brace all.
Taking a protective stance.
Excellent. Come on in, guys. I don't think we're going to get them all in next round, though. Which is slightly unfortunate.
They will be done. Roger.
Okay, let's see what happens. More contacts. Okay, so there are more. This is going to be a long episode, then. Okay. Are we going to get an opportunity to defend this convoy? Is the question. Maybe. We see a Dervish, a Goblin, an Orion, and a Sprint. We can probably crack through that pretty quickly. They're firing on the carrier, but they missed. These guys move phase 13, but I don't think they get out this round.
Order, Skipper.
We're going to sprint the Vulcan in over this direction
Affirmative, Commander.
as a distraction, and we're going to look to take out the sprint immediately. Okay, that's gone.
Crawler destroyed.
Excellent.
Receiving you.
The Gladiator is going to just move in over here, and I think we're going to go for that Orion. Our hit odds aren't the greatest, but that's at least one hit there. Actually, that was 2 hits, same location. That was very good. We're going to bring in our Hunchy over to here. And I'd like the Hunchy to work on... Honestly, hit odds are about the same. For the purposes of stray shot, I don't think it really matters. We're just going to take pot shots. Yeah, a whole lot of nothing there. Okay.
Good to go.
We can bring in the stealth, and we are going to do that as, again, a bit of a distraction. And we're going to light up... All of these are exactly the same. We're going to light up the Orion again.
Engaging target.
I just want to remove as much armor as we possibly can from that guy.
Got something you want done?
Yep, I want you to drop artillery on the Orion. This is going to start doing some major splash damage. Very nice. That Apollo closes in and is also firing, this time on the Dervish. Oh, that was some nice AoE damage, actually.
Waiting for orders.
We'll accept that. The Cronus will move in over here. And once again, we're just going to take a pot shot. Got some stray shots down. That's fine. Now they're going to move both the Orion and the Dervish here. They missed almost everything on the Vulcan.
Try aiming next time. See what you get.
Very nice.
Yes, Commander.
Now, given these options, I want to just move the Stalker forward a little, like this.
I'm walking here.
And now we're going to attack ground with the Arrow 4s, right there.
Locking target.
Did that do anything? I think it did. Okay, now the Dervish moves. And is firing on the Vulcan. Absolutely ideal. Very nice.
Yup.
No problem whatsoever with that. And the Orion and the Dervish are grouped up.
I'm on him.
Ooh. That's a structure exposure AC 10 crit on that Orion already. That is bonkers. Structure exposure on the Dervish as well. They're taking a ton of damage. This Goblin is definitely a bit of a concern, but it just moved back to the same location, took burn damage. It did fire on the carrier, but I think the carrier gets in next round. Yeah, it's this carrier that's moving now. That's just going to move up, like that. Okay. And then this is ideal locations for artillery. That was just an engine destruction on the Orion from an AC-10 explosion.
Ready to rock.
Bonkers. We are going to take in the Vulcan over here.
Time. Let's go.
This is rear arc on the Dervish. That Dervish is now very, very sad.
Orders?
We're going to move in with the Cronus here. This is still rear arc. I don't know that we can get the Flamers in there. Actually, we can.
Got the angle. Taking shot.
Okay.
Commander.
We're going to keep the Gladiator where it is. And we're going to fire, I think, on the Goblin. Our hit odds are slightly better there. Look at that. On 30% hit odds, that is insanity.
Consider it done.
Can we finish that Goblin? In theory, yes.
Oh, you want some of this?
Oh, and a stray shot on the dervish there.
Standing by.
This is insane. This is absolutely insane.
Firing all weapons.
And we hit the large laser there?
One less target.
Bonkers. This should be illegal.
Standing by.
I believe we are doing a war crime right now.
All weapons are go.
Getting this lucky with these rolls. I mean, that wasn't so
I
great,
think
but
I hit something good.
that also wasn't relevant. Like, we don't care that that wasn't that great of a roll.
Copy that.
We just come in with the stealth,
Firing. All weapons.
and there we go.
Vehicle down.
Mission successful.
Op 4 is gone before we even evac all of the escorts. That's insane. I don't even. I just can't believe how quickly we dispatched that Orion. Do we get Orion parts out of that? Are we close to an Orion? There's only one Orion part. I want to guarantee that Orion part. Anything else we'll take in the roulette. Let's see what we got. Rotary rifle, we'll get rid of that. MRM-10, I think we'll get rid of that too. Basic sensors, primitive cockpit. We'll keep the Orion and Endosteel. Okay, sounds good. Before I go here, I do want to check in on the sensors status on the stealth, because that no sensors 7 difficulty modifier, that hurts. That definitely hurts. And I'm not sure if that's because of sensor impairment or if I forgot to put sensors on that thing. I just want to double check it real quick here. So let's see what Yang has to say about how long this is going to take. My bet, not very. Maybe 20k and 4 days? Okay, I was double. Get on it, Yang. So I want to hop into the mech bay really fast here. Cancel work on the stealth. I said to cancel work on the stealth. There we go. Now I want to refit this. Of course, we want to max out all of the armor here. That extra ton of armor. Oh, yeah, the ferrofibrous. Okay, we do have sensors range on here, so... Is there minimum range on this? Oh, there is. Minus 50% minimum range. We probably want to have different sensors on here then. Good point. We could just go with recon sensors. That'll be fine. And then max out the armor as best we can here. I'm not sure how maxed we can get. Not fully maxed, I can tell you that right now. But we're going to fully max everything up here and then probably take some armor out of the legs is my bet of what's going to happen here. Okay, we'll bring this down to something like 70, and then we'll just start dropping a little bit of frontal armor here, maybe down to like 120, then down to 100. This needs to come up to 70. There we go. Maybe we'll take this down to 100. These down to like 90. And then like 65. Yeah, and then we'll just put a little bit more into these legs since we've got ammo in there. There we go. Excellent. And with that, I'm going to put a cut in here. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and I will see you all next time.